Hello everyone. In this short demo, I'm going to show you how we can design a PMQA report to extract the budget codings for an admin account code. To do that, we have to log into the Sun6 server. So I already logged on for that. And to design this type of reports, you should have a Sun6 user account. So those are the requirements that you should have to design this kind of a report. So I already logged on to the Sun6 server, and this is my server desktop. So this is the report that we are going to modify. Modify means I'm going to add a new report to extract the budget codings by referring a T2 account and a project number. So I'm going to open the Excel file. Right. So in this particular report, in this tool, we have two reports already. So the sheet number 1, the codes search by T6. So this report will help us to extract the balance code based on the project number and the log frame code. Actually, this is helping us to extract the codes for ministry supply activities. And this particular sheet, code search national office. So this report will help us to extract the balance codes for national office expenses based on account code and T1. Right, now I'm going to add another sheet and I'm going to name it as codes search by T2. So this report is helping us to extract the balance codes for administration expenses. So because why we need this report? Because for the admin expenses we have only one T6 like 91.1, 92.1, 71.1, so likewise. So but T2 is different. So that is why we need this report if we are going to shift this code selection process to the shared services. Then shared services should know the balance codings for the administration expenses. For that, they cannot extract from T6. They should have the T2 and the project number. So that is why we are going to search this report. We are going to design this report. First of all, we need some parameters. So like in this report, you can see there are several parameters. So we need the business unit, we need the budget ledger, and then project number. So instead of T6 in this particular report code search by T2, we need T2 and the starting period of the fiscal year. So I'm going to just copy and paste into the new sheet. Just change quickly the name here, the log frame code, because we need expense code. Code T2. Right. Now we have to name these cells in order to use this properly. So for that, I'm going to the name box and I'm going to type a name here. So I will type BU unit, right? That means the business unit, and the budget ledger. So I will name this as PUD LED, and then the project number. Project number. And then the T2. So I will just put 110.01 here, and I'm going to change the name as expense code, right? XCD, and then the period. So I will use same as period, Right, so we name our cells with some specific names, and then it's time to design the report. To do that, you should enable this info query and analysis add-on. So this is already inbuilt in the Excel when you log into the Sun server. You cannot find this add-on in your client desktop. So you should log into the Sun 6 server machine. But there is another way uh, without logging into the Sun server through remote desktop. You can design these reports and run in your machine, but to do that you should have there are some installation process to do that, and there are some specific requirements as well in terms of performance in your machine. So that part I'm not going to cover here. I'm just going to use the remote desktop Sun 6 server to design this report. Uh, then we need to log on to the info Q&A. To do that, go to the info Q&A menu bar, menu option, and then press log on. So you need to give your user ID, the given ID by Sun support. Then press OK. You no need to put a password here. Once you press OK, you can see these options will be enabled, right? So it's enabled. So in this report, the report option we need to decide. So we need this summary report option. So select the summary report option, and remember we already defined two reports. So that means the internal definition is already exists. So we can use that particular one of our internal definition to design this, or we can start from the beginning. So here I will use one of a definition because it's easy to designing process to select the existing definition and name it as a new definition. To find the internal definition, you have to go to the internal definition and press OK. So here you can see the two definitions we already defined. So in this report I will use this code by T6 because small amendment I need to do that. Instead of T6 I need to add T2. So therefore I will use it. So now definition open already. So first thing I need to do, go to the options, and I will name this internal definition as T2. So once I did this, my code by T6 definition will not be replaced. It will be there, and code by T2 internal definition will be added to the internal definition lists in this report. Then go to the definition. So here you can see the business unit, right? We need to give them the value to this report. So to do that, just let's do one by one. To do that, go to the business unit, and then here the filter from, just double click there. Once you double click, you will see the list of names we already defined in our Excel file. So for this we name as BU unit. We given the name as BU unit. Select it and press OK. So you can see it's changing. And then the budget ledger. Sorry. Here you have to double click. Then you can find BUD LED. This is the given name by me. Right, it's change. You can see the value B. Business unit, you can see value as PLK. Then the account code, filter from. Here we can give a range if we want. That is why from to two options. Both options are there. The project number. I think I given this like this. Okay, you can see the project number appeared, value from as L17240. The same name I have to give to the filter too. Right, so you can see value from and value to, the same value we set up here. And then accounting period. To do that, double click on this accounting period, and here you can double click and give the name we have given. I think we given as period, so it will be pop up here the given period 2015-001, and now you can press OK for this period selection. So then under the log frame, so here we have given in this definition, because we used the search code search by T6 definition for this report, so that is why the log frame code is there. We do not need this, so we can remove that. Just select drop to the selection list area. Now we need to add the T2 heading to our filtering area. To do that, you have to find the T2, that means L3 actually, L2, I'm sorry, actually L3. So here you can see the project expense code, that is L3 in Sun 6 language, but we used to have T, so that means T2, L3 equal T2. So I will drag and drop into the filtering area, and then we can give the our name of the cell. So that is about expense code, this one. Just double click. Right, so you can see the given T2 code is appeared in this filtering option. Now we have done the definition part, and this is our required outputs. So we already defined the output. It's just a matter of drag from selection list to the output area and drop there. So then we need to go to the report style. So under the report style, you can see the design option already selected. Then we can edit it, because we need to edit that since we have changed T6 into T2. So under the edit option, you can see the output list here, and so these are the outputs, and here this is the report, the way we are extracting. So this is already defined, so we can change the SAS heading a course based on project number and T2, right? And we have account code here, you can see the cell reference, and T0 here, and T1, T2, so likewise. So this is the output. This is how it looks like, the output. Right, we are done with that as well. Since we used already defined definition, that is why I am not going to drag and drop the fields into the layout. So if you are starting from the scratch, then you need to select relevant fields and drag and drop into the detail area. So here you can add titles. If you want to add totals, you can add using these add options. So there are several advanced options here. I'm not going to use those options in this demo. So now we are done with the report designing. Now you can press OK. Now you can test the report. So I already selected cell C8. So report will start from C8 reference. Right, here we go. Now you can see this particular project number this is the T2, and these are the rest of the T codes, T4, T0, T7, T9, so likewise. Then the shared service center, the person who is selecting the code, or the in-country person who is selecting the code, can input the codes based on this extraction. Right, this is how we can design a report using info Q&A add-on. Now the next step is to develop a macro to generate this bar automatically. To do that, I have to go to the utilities option under the info Q&A. You can see the utilities option is there. So under that you can find macro builder. So select the macro builder and then you have to select the correct step. So our step should be, the first step should be a clear area, because before running the macro at the beginning, the macro should clear this area before extracting the new information. So for that we can use clear range. Just double click on it. When you double click, that particular step will be added into this list. Then we have to give the range. You can select this box and then you can select the selection range. So I will just give some additional area as well in case if we extracting more lines when we use the tool. So I will just put 30. Right. So this is the first step, clear range. Then I hope you remember the report type we use, that is a summary report. Then we need to find the run summary report option. So this is what. Then double click on it. So it is adding here. Then the range, that means the starting point of this summary report. So it should be C8. So I selected that. Then the file name, that means we have to give our internal definition. For that, select this little side icon. Then it's asking, do you want to use an internal definition file? Yes, press yes. Then the window will show us the created internal definitions. So here our definition should be code by T2 and press OK. Right, then we have created the macro. Now we need to define tab name and the macro name. So for those we need to go to the options. Under the options we can put a macro name. So I will just put extract codes. It's taking a little while. Right, then we can give a button name. I can just simply use run, and we don't need to give a shortcut. Then the macro also having an internal definition. So for that also we can give a name. I will use extract codes by T2. Then we no need to give a external definition here. Right, now you are done with the options. That means you have given the macro name, button name, as well as internal definition for this macro. Now you can press OK. Once you press OK, your macro with a button will be appeared in your Excel file. You can locate it where you want, and even if you want to change the name, you can change it. Right, so using edit text, if you want to view the language, that means the macro, you can edit it. If you want to add any additional Excel macro, you can add to this codings. So you can do all those stuff if you want. Now you are done with the report. So this is how you can generate, you can design Q&A report using info Q&A add-on. So just try to run this. I'm going to change the code. I just put 840.01. Now we'll see. So first it cleared the area. Now so you can see there is no 840.01. That means this is not a budgeted T2 code. That is why the information not appeared. So likewise you can use that this tool. So I will just put another one, 8, 10. Right, so you can see this is a budgeted activity, so that is why the particular code is appearing. If this report is not running, that means that particular T2 or project number is not correct. So that means you need to reject the request in such a situation. So thank you so much for watching. This is how we can define this report.